Alright, what's up everyone? How we doing? Now, this Saturday, 18th of December, Miami, Florida, Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley 2 is going down. It is the rematch that nobody wanted. I'm not being a hater there, just the first time round. I just don't think it was the most electrifying fight, was it? I don't think people were on the edge of their seats and I don't think people were screaming to see it again. Tyron made a ton of money. That's good for him. And now he's probably going to make a decent amount of money in this rematch. Again, good for him. So I'm going to sit here. We're going to talk about the fight. We're going to break it down. I'm going to give you a prediction.
But first, a message from our sponsor.
Alright, I'm here to tell you about AG1 from Athletic Greens. Listen, if you're like me, you're on the go all the time, you're very busy, you're working long hours in your job. It's hard to get in all the vitamins and minerals that you need to lead a proper healthy lifestyle. That is where AG1 comes in, okay? As you see here, I have a tub of it, AG1. You take one little scoop like this, mix it with 8 ounces of water, and then you're set. You're set for the day with all the nutritional requirements that you need. Give it a little shake of water like that. As I say, it literally takes seconds. Hold on. Tastes absolutely delicious as well, and until you try it, you'll know that I'm telling the truth. So it's so easy and convenient to make sure you get the required vitamins, minerals, just basically the nutrients that you need. It gives you a lot of energy as well. I love to drink coffee. I drink far too much. This helps me get the energy that I need, and it actually sustains it throughout the day so I don't get those jitters as well. Obviously, this time of year, a lot of people getting colds and things like that. Amazing for your immune system. Thank you to AG1 for sending them my way, and we've got a great deal for you as well. Right now, if you go to athleticgreens.com/Bisping to get started on your order, Athletic Greens are going to give my viewers a free 1-year supply of immune supporting vitamin D and 5 travel packs with your own purchase. I mean, pretty good deal. You got the minerals, the adaptogens, and of course, my viewers, they're going to get a 1-year free supply of immune supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your very first purchase. athleticgreens.com/Bisping. All right, let's get into the video. And I'll just be honest, I don't think I'm picking Tyron Woodley. As I'm talking here, I might go back on myself because I still don't know, but I don't think I'm going to pick Tyron. And I feel bad doing that. I feel bad saying that because we're friends. We're not like the best friends in the world or anything like that, but I respect the guy. I have respect for him as a person. I have respect for him as a fighter, as a colleague as well. And I've known Tyron for many years. Used to work with him at Fox Sports. That's how we got to know one another. He's a good guy. He's a good person. The problem is with Tyron is his lack of output. And I think that's fair to say. I don't think that's going to blow anyone away when I say that. That's kind of how he was. You know, I mean, even when he was on his championship run, and he was a fantastic champion, don't get me wrong. Dangerous power, explosive wrestler, but a methodical pace. You know, he would slow down the pace of the fights. I mean, Dana White even said once that he had the record for landing or throwing the least amount of punches in a title fight. That was against Damian Maia. But again, if you hear Tyron, he'll say, well, listen, hold on. That was a tactical fight and Damian was trying to take him down. And it is all true. But also, it's true that he didn't throw very much and the output wasn't there. Then his last 4 fights. And again, I feel like a dickhead. I feel like I'm hating on Tyron Woodley. I'm not hating on him. He's a great guy and he's a great fighter. I'm just saying the facts, okay? Tyron in his last 4 fights never really applied himself. You know, against Kamaru, he was coasting and he got beat. Against Gilbert Burns, kind of same thing. Who else? Colby Covington, it was a little bit different. And then his last fight in the UFC against Vicente Luque, he knew the narrative. He knew everyone was talking shit. So he said, right, I'm going to go for it. And he went for it and he did, and he came out way more aggressive. And that bit him in the ass. He ended up getting Bravo choked in the first round. So there's a lot of psychological demons going on for Tyron Woodley. Jake Paul on the other side, he's just having the fucking time of his life. I don't think there's any pressure on Jake Paul. I mean, listen, of course, he wants to win. He wants to be the man. He wants to be a successful boxer. But not that I'm a psychologist or anything like that. But let's just put my goddamn phone on silent as well. Schaefer Bates, the impressionist, interrupting the video. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, listen, not to play psychologist or anything, but I think, you know, if you look at Tyron, and again, if Tyron was to see this and he's offended by anything, that isn't my intention. I'm just calling it how I see it, right? Towards the end of his career, the output wasn't there, right? But he was a successful fighter. He was a guy that grew up in, from what I understand, you know, very, very humble beginnings. Came to the UFC. Strikeforce first, came to the UFC from being a college wrestler, became a great fighter, became champion of the world, and made some money. Okay, then he got cut from the organization, or his contract expired, whichever way you want to call it, and he went away. Now he's fighting Jake Paul. He's doing that for the money. He's doing it for the money, and there's nothing wrong with that. Most people do everything for money. Hell, I'm doing these fucking YouTube videos, A, because I love it, but B, because there's money involved as well. So you can't hate on that. But that is the primary motivation for Tyron Woodley in this fight. Jake Paul has money. Jake Paul's made millions and millions of dollars. I don't know how many subscribers he has on YouTube, all these business endeavors that he does. I know he's in the NFT space. He's made a lot of investments. He's the promoter on these boxing shows as well. Jake Paul's made a tremendous amount of money. I don't know what the young man is worth, but he's worth a lot of cash. So fair play to him. He's been quite the entrepreneur. He's been a YouTuber. He's became a celebrity, and now he's boxing. And he's boxing because he wants to fight. He's not boxing for the money. He's boxing out of passion, okay? He wants to be a boxer. Now, the thing is, everybody wants to be a fighter. They do. Everyone wants to be a fighter. I don't care what they say. They might not admit it. Rappers, actors, all of them, they want to be a fighter because there's nothing cooler than if you're a guy, and a woman as well, but it's more of a guy thing, I would say. More guys look up to fighters. It's primal, it's animalistic. It goes all the way back to thousands of years ago when we were cavemen, when we were in medieval times. If you were the alpha male, if you were a warrior, if you were the guy, if you were the fucking Conan the Barbarian dude, swinging the big sword and the shield and getting all the birds, you were the man. Do you know what I mean? And still to this day, right? It's a little different. It's a little changed. In 2021, I much preferred the 90s. You could crack someone here and there and it was no big deal. I'm joking, of course. Of course. I'm just kidding. But so Jake Paul's become this big celebrity, but he wants to fight. As I said, that's why people want to fight, because it's cool. But he wants to fight. He wants to fight. He's not fighting for the money. Jake Paul has the money. He has the money in the bank. I don't know what he's done, but I'm assuming he's got a ton of money in the bank. Tyron's doing it for the money. So just on that alone, who would you favour? The guy that's doing it out of passion, the guy that's doing it out of fun, or the guy that's doing it for a payday? Because the payday's there. The payday was there with the first fight. The payday's there for the second fight. So how hard is he pushing himself in training? We don't know. Okay, I'm assuming Tyron is pushing himself hard in training because pride. He has pride as a man. He has pride as a fighter. He has pride as a former world champion. So obviously his fighting ability is something that Tyron holds dear to his heart. So he doesn't want to make a fool of himself. So he's not a complete sellout. He's not just showing up for a payday and he's not going to train. Tyron's going to come to win. But the reality is he is doing it for the money, which I think does change things. Now, if you look at Tyron, as I said, the output, right, was always an issue. In the fight, the first fight with Jake Paul, the output was an issue again. In a sport where all you have to do is punch people in the face, use your fists. He wasn't using his fists. He wasn't throwing many punches. That's a problem. That's a mental problem. Okay, it is. It's like, it was the same in the UFC as well. Yes, he was great. Yes, he was skilled. He had great timing. He was very powerful. But it was always kind of at a pedestrian pace. The output was never great. And I think that is a mental issue. Okay, now, Tyron knows that in the first fight, he hurt Jake Paul. He knows he has the ability. But he always knew that. Everybody knows Tyron Woodley has a fucking monster right hand. He can knock people out. Of course he can. Just ask Robbie Lawler. Okay? But fucking messages coming through. I put it on silent. It vibrates every 2 seconds. Apologies. Yeah, he has a monster right hand. So he knows that he can knock people out. But he knew that going into the Jake Paul fight. But in the Jake Paul fight, he did rock him. I think it was round 4. He sent him into the ropes and all the rest of it. But then he admired his beauty. He admired his work. We see a lot of fighters doing it. I've done that. I cracked Wanderlei Silva with the massive right hand and had him all wobbled. And I kind of just stood back and admired my work. That's not what you got to do. You got to go in for the kill. But let's also remember, Tyron took the fight on just over 2 weeks' notice. Yes, okay, he was training a little bit, okay? But he hasn't been training to the extent that Jake Paul has. So is that in the back of his mind got to be there? Is that little voice, that little demon saying, don't go for it, don't punch yourself out, because when you get tired, then you're a sitting duck, right? So there's all these questions. I don't have the answers, but these are the questions. When he went for the knockout against Vicente Luque, when he went for it, he got finished. That's going to be there in the back of his mind. Fuck, last time I did that, I got finished. He hasn't had a full training camp. Okay, so therefore that maybe in the back of his mind not to go for it. Now Jake Paul's made it spicy. He's came out and said, hey, do you know what? If you knock me out, there's an extra $500,000. Genius marketing by Jake Paul. It is, because the buying public, for the most part, will say, well, first fight wasn't all that great. I'm not too jazzed up about spending $60, $59.95 on a rematch. But hold on, Jake Paul throws in that little caveat. He throws in that little swerve ball of, guess what? I'll give you $500,000 if you knock me out. Ooh, says the buying public. But he almost knocked him out in round 4. Fuck, Tyron's going to go for it, man. He's really going to go for it. I'm telling you, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be sick. But he took the fight on 2 weeks' notice. Last time he did try to knock somebody out, he got choked out in the first round. Of course, there's no chokes in boxing. There's only punches. But Tyron doesn't throw many punches, as I said. Now, the fight can go one of two ways. One of two ways, as we know. Tyron can win, Jake can win. I think if Tyron wins this time, I think there is a potential that he could stop him. He did catch him in the 4th round. He didn't follow up. So, of course, he's going to learn from those mistakes. But I feel that the old style of Tyron's going to come back. He can't change that. That's within him. Of course, we all have that, the animalistic voice inside us. We all have that part where we just say, fuck this and throw down. That's there for Tyron. He's still a beast, for want of a better word, inside. But he's got older. And as you get older, you get more civilized. And you calm down a little bit. And you start over-strategizing things. That's what happened to me. In my early days of my fights, I used to go out there and it was a blaze. I had no fucking idea what happened. I would have to watch the fight back afterwards to understand and see and realise and even remember what I'd done in the fight, because I was so young. And then the moment would get to me, the adrenaline surge was crazy. And I'd just go out there in a blaze of adrenaline. Go fucking crazy. Knock them out, beat them, whatever it was. Celebrate. But I wouldn't have a clue what I did. And they'd be like, man, that was awesome. I'm like, really? I have no idea until I watched it back. Then as you get older, as you get more experience, that crazy adrenaline, there's always adrenaline there, don't get me wrong, always there. But that would dissipate a little bit. You would learn how to handle the fight day nerves and the prep and the pre-fight stuff. So you wouldn't be quite so wild, and you'd be more methodical and you'd have a more strategic approach, which is great because you need to do that as you're fighting better guys. As the competition is getting harder, that's what you have to do. But also that rawness, that fucking animal inside you, that's what got you to the dance in the first place. So it's careful. You got to be careful that you don't abandon that, because that's what makes you great. Has Tyron abandoned that? I don't know if he has, but it seems like he has. The last time we saw that, he beat Robbie Lawler in beautiful style. Who else did? Damian Maia was a pedestrian performance. Listen, dominant performance. They were all wins, no doubt about it. And then against Kamaru, Gilbert, Colby, it wasn't there. And then against Jake Paul the first time, it wasn't there. Jake, on the flip side, was training for Tommy Fury, who's a proper boxer. So therefore, there might be a little challenge there with the rhythm and the timing, because Tyron, again, is going to move slightly different to a boxer. But Tyron's fast, he's got power, and he's got the cardio to go 8 rounds. But I just feel that he's not going to go for it. And by the way, I've seen a lot of people say to me, what are you talking about, Bisping? You took on Luke Rockhold on 2 weeks' notice and you knocked him out. Yeah, I did, and I went for it. You know why I went for it? Because I had to fucking go for it, because I knew I didn't have the cardio. But I don't believe that Tyron will have that same mindset. I hope I'm wrong. I hope he wins. I hope they both make a ton of money. And I'm kind of interested as to how it goes. But I've got Jake Paul winning by decision. And I might upset a lot of people. But I said that the first time round. Everyone was like, oh my God, Tyron's going to smoke him. I'm like, I don't know. Jake Paul's a big, strong fucking kid. Right, and he likes this sport. He's been applying himself. He's maybe got delusions of grandeur because he's talking about fucking Canelo and all these types of people. Remember when that Dana White said, Jake, when he was talking about Anderson Silva and whatnot, he went quiet there. But he's got delusions of grandeur, or he's got high aspirations and ambitions. To reach those, you got to put the work in. And from all accounts, from everyone I speak to, Jake Paul's doing that work. Listen. Saturday 18th, Miami, Florida. I see Jake Paul wins again via decision. And simply because Tyron's fighting for the money, and the money's there, that's guaranteed. Jake Paul's fighting for the kudos of being a fighter. He's fighting for that vision. He wants to be known as a fighter. He wants people to take him seriously. He wants to earn the respect of the fight community. I don't think that's what Tyron's trying to do here. He's trying to finish out his fight career with a ton of money in his bank. And of course, I get that. That's what we all want to do. Most fighters come from a tough background. So we want that money. We want to change our lives. Jake Paul's got the money. So you could say that makes him soft. I don't know. I think it changes it. He wants the respect for the fight community, from the fight community, and he's a big motherfucker. He's the bigger guy. He's got the momentum on his side. And realistically, he's just got to watch the right hand of Tyron Woodley. Anyway, I hope I'm wrong. And I hope you don't think I'm a sellout, or you hope I don't think I'm an asshole, Tyron Woodley, if you see this. And I wish you nothing but success and all the best. And I truly mean that. But yeah, there you go. Tyron Woodley, Jake Paul. I think Jake Paul wins again. Hope I'm wrong. I really do. Anyway, thank you very much. Thanks for watching. Ring the bell, subscribe, all that good stuff. Take care.